All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at BotBots Series 6 Rebel Without a Queso from the Hunger Hubs. And yeah, this one is all right. It's another a repaint. Rebel Without a Queso it's like a play on Rebel Without a Cause, I guess. I guess there's a C and an S sound in both cause and queso, but otherwise that's kind of strange. I don't know, but whatever. Rebel Without a Queso here turns into it's not really supposed to be nachos anymore. I think that this is supposed to be just like like those kind of like dark blackish kind of tortilla chips with the with like I guess this would now be salsa on them, or something like that. Which is fine. I feel like it's a little strange insofar that like you don't really, I don't think, just pour a glob of salsa on like a little dish of chips. You usually dip them, so it's a little bit strange, but this is a repaint, obviously, of Series 1 Shredder Jack, which has also been used for Series 2 Nacho Problem, who were both nachos. I guess in retrospect, if his name wasn't Nacho Problem, I would have assumed that this one was also just like chips with hot sauce or something like that, but it's still weird. But yeah, no, this one is really supposed to be chips, whereas these two are nachos. And, in terms of the alt mode, it's fine. It mostly follows the same, like, color, like, arrangement, I guess, as Shredder Jack. Like, all the paint apps are in the same place. They're just different colors, at least in this mode. And, it looks all right. I'm happy that they put the stripes back on the front, because I think that was something that made Nacho Problem a little bit bland, even though this one had, stripes on the side. It's not as obvious. So I do think that makes it look a little bit better. I will say that the blue color that they chose for the chips here, I'd say, is not totally accurate, because like it's a little bit too saturated for what you'd see in those type of chips, because they really are more like a very dark black that is kind of like it got a little bit of a blue tint to them, whereas these are kind of just blue, which really threw me off at first. I'm just like, is that a thing? Blue nachos? But yeah, no. So it's a little strange. And again, like I said, if this is meant to just be like, salsa that you dip the chips into, that you wouldn't really pour it on top like that, I wouldn't think. So it's a little weird, but pretty standard overall, just looking kind of the same as the other two, just now blue. But yeah, in terms of transformation, obviously it's exactly the same. You just want to fold the legs out from underneath here, take this little flap, get your fingernail on there, and then flip it up like that, and then take the arms, fold them out to the side, and there you have Rebel Without a Queso in their robot mode. And real quick, we'll just transform the other two so you can see what all three of them look like together. There we have Shredder Jack and Nacho Problem here. And yeah, like I said, again, mostly keeping the same kind of like color layout as Shredder Jack, although the face is a little bit different. And what's really weird, actually, is that they actually have done a rare bit of retooling on here, where they took out the actual like sculpted details of the little eyes and that actually like stick out on Shredder Jack, and it's now just smooth, which is also especially strange because they did that and then decided to still give him the big one open eye like the other two have. Like, if you're going to take away the sculpting, you might as well do something different with the expression, right? But it's more or less the same, and just kind of not as good, in my opinion, because like, I don't know, it's doing again that Series 6 thing where the expressions are just like solid swaths of color rather than having any sort of like line work or details like the other two have, which I think is kind of a shame. But otherwise fairly standard. Looks about the same as the other two. In terms of articulation, obviously exactly the same. The ball joints on the arms give him a pretty good range of movement there. You can kind of bring his arms out to the side, and you can kind of wiggle the legs back and forth a little bit, but you can't bring it so far before they just start to fall over. So yeah, it's all right. Not really reinventing the wheel here in terms of like updating the previous BotBots that use this mold. I'd say robot mode for me, probably I'm going to give a 3 out of 5. I gave Shredder Jack a 5, and I gave Nacho Problem a 4, which I think is a little unfair. I think that Nacho Problem probably should have had a 5 as well, because I like their robot modes just as well. I think it was just because I was less excited about it because it came out after Shredder Jack. And same kind of thing goes for this one. I just think that the expression is like less detailed, which seems to be a running thing in Series 6, which just gives it a little bit less distinguishable character, so not quite as good as the other two. So I'll give that one a 3. And then for alt mode, I think I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I gave Shredder Jack a 5, and I gave Nacho Problem a 4. No, a 3, because like the blue line, or the lack of blue line there, really I think makes it look a lot more boring. And with him, it's a bit more interesting to look at. I just think it makes a little bit less sense because, again, you wouldn't really just splot salsa on top of chips, I don't think. So 4 out of 5. And then transformation, just like the other two, is normal average, so 3 out of 5, which is going to give Rebel Without a Queso here an ultimate score of 10 out of 15, which makes them a 3-star BotBot. So pretty much the same score as Nacho Problem. I still think that Shredder Jack is the best out of these, just because, kind of just did it right the first time, and then everything past that is like you're just trying to make little changes just for the sake of making changes, whereas this one is still just the best. It's just the best way to do it because they did it right the first time. So yeah, it's still 3-star BotBot, pretty average, nothing to really write home about. It's just kind of an okay little unnecessary repaint. But yeah, if you want to pick up Rebel Without a Queso, you can get them in one of the two Hunger Hubs 5-packs in Series 6. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to them. So if you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have BotBots Series 6. What's his name? Rebel Without a Queso. It's just too stupid. I can't remember it.